I woke up the other morning to a man, Edgar, between my legs.
Hearing from the woman who says she was sexually assaulted in her own home while she slept next to her fiancé. Just this morning, Washington County deputies say the suspect turned himself in, and this afternoon, Edgar Perez faced a judge.
Deputies say Perez sexually assaulted Heather Beckman last week. She shared her story exclusively with Fox 12's Brenna Kelly last night when the suspect was still on the loose.
I woke up the other morning to a man, Edgar, between my legs, sexually assaulting me.
Heather Beckman says she has no idea what led up to it.
To let yourself in and to take it that far, I don't understand how that could be right in anybody's mind.
Deputies say this man, 29-year-old Edgar Perez, is suspected of walking into Beckman's home and sexually assaulting her while her fiancé slept by her side.
We have a posted no trespassing sign on our gate. He would have had to have come through here.
She says her fiancé ran after him, but deputies say Perez got away. Beckman says she knows Perez. He responded to her post on Craigslist years ago.
Just looking for new friends who are like-minded, but apparently we're not so like-minded.
Beckman says they had him over a few times, but they were only acquaintances at most.
This is the only way he could have come in, because when we woke up, the front door was still locked. All the windows were still shut.
Beckman says their back door was unlocked that night. They've installed new locks on both doors since then.
That level of PTSD comes into play, and I'm peeking out the window when I hear a noise, or asking Eric, was that you? Did you make that sound? Or, it's weird to not feel home in my home.
They've also posted on Nextdoor to alert their neighbors about what happened. Now, Beckman wants other victims to know it's okay to talk about it.
I want them to have a voice, and I want these people to be heard, because it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's something that you need to talk with people about.
Brenna Kelly, Fox 12 Oregon.
Today, Perez was in court, but only facing probation violation charges. It is expected that more charges will be filed against Perez for this case.
3 people are behind bars tonight accused of firing off a gun in southeast Portland, and only Fox 12 was there as police put a man and woman in handcuffs and then loaded them into a patrol car. Some Portland police officers happened to be near Southeast Brooklyn Street and 67th Avenue when they heard a single gunshot at about 4:30 this morning. They then found a Honda Civic and pulled over the driver of that car. That's when police say one of the people in the car got out and ran into a nearby yard and briefly hid in a doorway and behind some bushes. We spoke to a neighbor who heard the commotion.
It was unnerving. I was wondering, is somebody going to come running, maybe through my fence or my yard? When you hear gunshots and sirens quickly thereafter, it certainly gives a scare.
And police eventually caught the person hiding in the bushes and found a gun nearby. Officers took the other people in the car into custody as well. They've been identified as Jason Linfoot, Caitlin Thompson, and Clark Belgrade. Police also found several other items in the car, such as bullets and also some magazine clips.
The 2018 Oregon legislative session is about to begin, and rape kit reform could become a key part of the agenda. A system already used in Portland could set the standard across the state. House Bill 4049 was created to improve the system of testing rape kits to cut down on backlog. Right now, Oregon does not have a statewide tracking system for testing those kits. However, under the bill, detective notes and barcodes will be included in the kits, and this is so agencies involved can follow the kit from collection to analysis and then storage or even destruction. A rape survivor and activist for the bill tells us it will also create a system that keeps a survivor informed.
As a survivor, if you want to follow the process, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call the police bureau and say, hey, what's happening with my case? What's happening with my rape kit? What this does, it creates a system that the survivor can actually go in and look at that information for themselves.
By the way, this bill is actually based off of the Portland Police Bureau's system for testing kits called SAMS. And if the bill goes through, it will be adopted on a statewide level. Two serial burglars are on the loose tonight after Vancouver police say they've been breaking into Mexican restaurants along the I-5 corridor down into Portland, too. Police say they break in through the drive-through window or by breaking other windows of the place. And investigators just released this image from a Muchas Gracias break from back in December. The suspects pried open a door and stole several $1,000s in cash. That same place on East Mill Plain Boulevard was also hit in October. Now this is surveillance video from that time. In that case, a thief pried open the drive-through window and took the entire cash register drawer. So if you've got any information, call Vancouver police.
$40,000 in stolen guitars and other property has been recovered, and it all happened after Portland police say the suspect tried selling them at a local store. This happened yesterday at the Guitar Center in Delta Park. Police say they received a call that several people were trying to sell stolen merchandise there. As it turns out, a woman reported her storage unit full of guitars and other items had been broken into and emptied out. She had no idea that they were being sold. Police arrested 25-year-old Vincent Eshelman. They say that he ran from officers and had to be caught by a canine in a nearby sports field. According to court documents, he admitted to helping a friend burglarize the storage shed. Well, tonight we're learning new details about plans for hundreds of layoffs at a Camas paper mill.
This is something that'll impact so many local families. Fox 12's Jamie Wilson joins us live with more. Jamie?
Well, last fall, the Georgia Pacific Company announced that layoffs would be coming in Camas sometime in 2018, and now we know that the first round will begin on May 1st. The Georgia Pacific paper mill is planning to lay off 200 workers between May and June, with as many as another 100 people in the months to follow. The mill is ending its production of paper for printers and copiers, but it will continue tissue manufacturing. That side of the business employs about 140 people in Camas. The mill has been the centerpiece of Camas since 1885, and people who live there know the layoffs will create a domino effect.
I think it's going to have a fairly big impact. I mean, maybe not so much immediately on the town of Camas itself, but as you see a truck going by right now, there's hundreds of chip truck drivers that drive in and out every day, on top of the workers that are going to lose their job. They're probably going to lose their jobs. You know, our sales are going to decline a bunch just from the mill, so we're going to have to seek work elsewhere too. So.
And a company spokeswoman tells me that they are working very closely with the workers' union to provide severance packages and other support for employees during this transition. Live from the mobile newsroom tonight, Jamie Wilson, Fox 12 Oregon.
Several Portland business owners say they've spotted a woman stealing from their stores. Now, what makes this more unique? She wasn't alone. She had a child with her, and one of those thefts was caught on camera.
Fox 12's Haley Rush has more on where these thefts have happened and who police now have in custody.
It does hurt us.
Erin Fay, manager of the store Margaret O'Leary, says she's been hit by the same shoplifter twice in 1 month.
The first time she came in, she was with her child, who was about 5 or 6, and a stroller. I thought the child looked too old to be in the stroller, so that was kind of my first instinct that something was off.
Surveillance video from the store shows a woman take a purse from a shelf, then put it underneath the stroller, all while the child is by her side.
You know, that's their decoy. They have a child, a stroller.
Then on Saturday, Faye says the same woman came back.
This time she wasn't with her child, but she was by herself, and I recognized her right away.
Faye says she put clothes in her bag and coat before leaving.
I called the police.
At the store Lil in Southeast Portland, an employee tells Fox 12 they think the same woman stole from there too. The same goes for the Porch Light in Northwest. Surveillance from there again shows a woman with a kid and a stroller.
She's definitely professional, like a professional shoplifter.
Portland police confirmed they arrested a woman named Lacey Green in connection to the theft at Margaret O'Leary.
All in all, they caught her, and I was very excited they did, because apparently she's been stealing from a lot of our neighborhood businesses. So.
But Portland police say because of a staffing shortage, they can't investigate every property crime or say if Green is connected to more thefts in the city.
Especially for, you know, mom and pop businesses, especially that, you know, can't incur this much loss. It's just really, really hard, and it's aggravating.
Haley Rush, Fox 12 Oregon.
The Union Pacific Railroad has an urgent message for drivers tonight. When you see tracks, always think train. Railroad representatives joined local law enforcement officers today to observe the behavior of drivers and other people at railroad crossings. They say most people don't realize that freight trains traveling 55 miles per hour take more than a mile to stop. And lately, they say they've seen a lot of people on foot ignoring signals and warnings.
Sometimes we have a situation where the train may block the crossing, and we absolutely apologize for the inconvenience that may cause. However, climbing through the trains or doing things of that nature when the lights and signals are activated is very, very dangerous.
The warning, of course, also applies to bicyclists. During today's public awareness campaign, police saw this cyclist pedaling across the tracks with the warning light still flashing. It's a move they say is not just dangerous, it's against the law.
Still to come, a disturbing sight in Portland. We'll tell you why crows seem to just be falling from the sky and suffering in a terrible way. Plus, why you need to make sure your pets stay away.
It was an awkward moment more than a year ago between Michelle Obama and Melania Trump. What was inside that Tiffany's box that caused a bit of controversy?
Now let's talk about your bus stop forecast for tomorrow. Sending the kids off to school in the morning, they'll be dry. It'll be cloudy, around 41 degrees, but by the afternoon, that rain is back, and it's going to stick around here through the evening. We'll talk about the timing of that system that's coming in, what to expect beyond as we head into your weekend. That's all coming up.
A disturbing sight in northeast Portland. Dead and dying crows were found in the streets and on people's property. Now, the Audubon Society fears they could have been poisoned.
A warning first, some people may find the images disturbing. Fox 12's Nora Hart joins us now with a look at the case.
Right now, the Audubon Society says it doesn't know if the deaths were intentional or not, and they're waiting on test results to see exactly how the birds died. But all the birds look like they were in good condition right before they died. Grenard Madrigal woke up to find several crows having seizures right outside his home, and he took these images.
I heard these crows cawing for like 15 minutes, and I finally went out to go see what was going on. And then you would see like a couple on the ground, and they looked like they almost had broken wings or something. But they would get up a little bit and start spasming, and then you saw all kinds of crows in the trees.
The crows were found along Martin Luther King Boulevard and Northeast Jessup Street. Summer Hatfield also lives nearby and saw the birds in pain.
And I saw something black falling down out of the sky, and as I got closer to it, I realized it was a crow. And at first I thought it had just hurt its wing or something, and so I took my coat off and I went over and scooped it up.
She planned to take it to the Audubon Society, but then realized a lot of people were gathered around a few more, and the problem was bigger than just one bird. Bob Salinger from the Portland Audubon Society says they have collected about a dozen birds so far.
Well, these crows are suffering really horrible deaths. I mean, this is a really bad death when you see the footage of these crows gasping for air and having seizures. They're really suffering.
The other concern is for pets who might come in contact with the crows. They say don't let them near the birds. The necropsies still need to be performed, but tonight the Portland Audubon Society is offering up to a $1,000 reward for information about how they were possibly poisoned. This time of year, it's not too unusual to see large groups of crows throughout the city. Experts say it gives them protection and warmth during the cold months. In studio, Nora Hart, Fox 12 Oregon.
Well, the rare super blue blood moon lit up the sky early this morning. Unfortunately, Mother Nature did not quite cooperate in our area. It was simply too cloudy to see the moon here.
Although it could be seen from across the country. Fox 12's Tracy Hinson has more.
Unfortunately, it was cloudy nearly all morning here, so we didn't get a chance to see it in person, but luckily, NASA streamed their view from a couple of observatories in California and Arizona where the sky was ideal for checking out the rare super blue blood moon. People all over the country showed off pictures of the super blue blood moon. It sounds like a flavor of ice cream, but super blue blood moon is the actual name of this phenomena. When there are 2 full moons in 1 month, they're called blue moons. This was our second one. It's also super. Super supermoons occur when the moon is close to its nearest approach to Earth, so it appears larger than usual. And it's a blood moon. During a lunar eclipse, the Earth blocks sunlight from the moon, so it's Earth's shadow that casts the red glow on the lunar surface. For areas with clear night skies, the moon sure put on a show and has people all over the globe tweeting about what they saw early this morning. Now around 3 a.m., it did get clear enough to see the moon in northeast Portland. The National Weather Service posted this one from northeast Portland, saying only a few thin clouds in the way. We just need the clearing to hold for a few more hours. And as we know, it didn't clear out. And to add insult to injury for us here in Portland, it's been about 150 years since the last super blue blood moon. Maybe next time. Reporting in studio, I'm Tracy Hinson, Fox 12 Oregon.
Well, good thing I didn't stay up all night to watch that or wake up early, I guess.
The odds probably were not in your favor.
Yeah, so I knew not to.
Yeah.
If you're looking forward to the next lunar eclipse, though,
okay,
we have another one coming next January. So we got to wait a year, but January 20th is our next one, and maybe we'll cross our fingers for at least a partially clear.
It'd be nice.
It'd be clear,
It'd
hopefully.
be better if it was like August 20th. You know.
It would be.
Yeah, the odds would be much better.
Unfortunately, we don't get to choose that.
I know.
Yeah,
yeah.
bummer. Yeah, it's kind of a.
Gee.
There's that.
It's the time of the year where we just have the worst, worst luck as far as the clouds go. Newport, 45 degrees, nice calm winds, beautiful night out there. We are seeing a few breaks in the clouds. So let's talk about the next few days here. Tomorrow brings a dry, cloudy start, and then the rain returns sometime around midday or early afternoon. That'll stick with us here through Friday as well, but it'll just break up into a few leftover showers there. Expect it to be gray and cloudy for Friday, and really it's going to be gray through the weekend and into next week as well. But once we hit Friday, you're going to notice those temperatures are much, much warmer. Nights will be more mild. Daytime temps are going to be in the mid to upper 50s. So, yeah, next week, just a few sprinkles, maybe a few light showers, and temps will be very warm. Temperatures right now are in the mid-40s. That's where we topped out today. 46 in Milwaukee, 44 in Battleground, 47 in Portland. So through the rest of the night tonight, we stay dry, and that rain again picks up sometime tomorrow around the midday hour or into the afternoon. The heaviest rain's actually going to be off to the north, north of Portland out towards Vancouver, Battleground, Kelso area, and upwards towards Seattle. We catch kind of the bottom end of this storm here, so yes, we will get rain, but we're not going to get the heaviest rain necessarily. Heading into Friday, we see that leftover shower activity, and then Saturday, a system's trying to drop in from the north. So if you live on the north end of the forecast area, once again, you could see a little bit more rain than folks down in Portland, and especially down in Salem will see. So for the coast, temps there close to 50 degrees. We'll have increasing rain showers, and those showers will be really picking up here in the afternoon and early evening in the valleys, and temps will be cool once again. As we head up to Mount Hood, temperatures there in the 30s at Timberline and Meadows will be in the 40s for Government Camp and Welches. So one more cool day, that'll be tomorrow. And then look at these high temperatures. We're into the mid-50s. Unfortunately, this is not good for the Cascades and Mount Hood and the resorts up there. Once we hit Friday, boy, those snow levels are way up there, above 7,000 feet. That's above Timberline Lodge. But down here in the lowlands, should be more dry than wet all the way through the middle of next week. Guys?
All right, Brian, thank you.
Well, straight ahead on the 5 o'clock news, it's not your typical pet at all. The controversy surrounding this peacock that went to the airport. So you may remember there was an awkward moment between Michelle Obama and Melania Trump 1 year ago during the inauguration, and now we are learning a little bit more about that exchange. Here it is. Melania gave Michelle a blue Tiffany box at the White House. So there were a lot of jokes about Michelle's reaction. You see her right there, and just wondering what exactly was in that iconic blue box. Well, in her first interview since leaving the White House, Mrs. Obama told Ellen DeGeneres that inside was a lovely frame. She says she just wasn't expecting a present because it's not protocol. You got to see it. A passenger was held up at an airport because of her emotional support animal. It's a giant peacock. The woman is a performance artist who is traveling through the Newark airport in New Jersey. The video shows her with a peacock named Dexter. hard to miss them. She says she bought a ticket for Dexter so he could have his own seat on this flight to Los Angeles. But a spokesperson for United Airlines says Dexter didn't meet travel guidelines for several reasons, including size and weight. She also says this was explained to the passenger several times before she arrived at the airport. Well, Dexter was denied a spot on the flight, but that didn't stop him from taking his cross-country trip anyway. He's got his own Instagram account, and here's a bit of it. He's been sharing pictures of his journey, a very colorful one, and is now on a driving trip. So he's getting there.
Well, after 5 days on the run inside the SeaTac International Airport, a pet cat has been found. You can see video of Mr. Kitty and a picture of the cat detecting dog that found him. The cat's owner called on 3 retrievers lost pet rescue after the cat had gotten away and had been missing for nearly a week. The dog found him in less than 5 minutes, found wedged under a rock in the water feature in a construction area. Mr. Kitty is from the Seattle area.
Next at 6, it was a scary morning for several members of Congress when their train crashed into a garbage truck. We spoke with one Oregon congressman who went through the whole ordeal.
But first, we're getting more information about a wild arrest in Hazel Dell. Hear from a woman who says she is very fortunate after a violent carjacking.